saw Mr. Nandan Nilekani today at the NAC. So why was he there and what was discussed?
Actually, I think he came just to brainstorm with NAC. He was supposed to meet us long ago and he hadn't. So he came to meet us and we all expressed our very diverse and different opinions as usual, and many agreed on some issues, many did not agree on some issues. And there was all these issues about implementation which are really troublesome, which were expressed, and some approved, some disapproved. But this is not an NAC meeting.
What was your position in the NAC today regarding linking Aadhaar to the welfare delivery system?
You know my position very well. We think it's one of the biggest mistakes this country is making in linking Aadhaar to welfare delivery. We've written about it, we've talked about it, and we are so many of us together on this particular issue. Position holds.
Would it be right to say that the NAC members are divided on the utility of Aadhaar being linked to the welfare delivery system?
No, these were not an NAC meeting, and as individuals we all have different opinions, or maybe we agree. Some of us agree, some of us don't agree, we have different opinions.
See, he gave us his presentation on the direct benefit transfer scheme and the use of Aadhaar in it. And he was very responsive to the concerns of the NAC members. The essential concern, I believe, was that we need to manage the transition well. You know, there is a situation today where not all beneficiaries of government programs have Aadhaar numbers. There is lack of internet connectivity in large parts of the country. Our concern was that people should not be denied benefits if they do not have Aadhaar numbers. The transition to a situation where everyone has Aadhaar numbers and bank accounts and internet-enabled bank accounts has to be managed very carefully. Otherwise, this could become a means of exclusion rather than inclusion. And I must tell you that the chairperson of the UID, Mr. Nandan Nilekani, was very clear that in his mind there should be no denial of benefits of anyone who does not have an Aadhaar number. In fact, to the extent he said that if a person doesn't have fingers or irises, there will be what he calls manual override. That is, we will take a manual identity will be given rather than based on biometrics. So given that that is also a possibility, I don't think we should be apprehensive about the problems caused by Aadhaar in the direct benefit transfer initiative of the government.
Were there also questions raised about the legitimacy of Aadhaar at all, the fact that it exists in a legal vacuum?
Well, Mr. Nilekani was clear in answering that question. What he said was that the present legal status of the UID does not prevent it from doing what it is doing today. The legal part of it, which is yet to be enacted in Parliament, in fact he asked the NAC to help expedite that process, does not actually come in the way of doing the work that the UID authority is doing today.
Would it be accurate to say that the NAC is divided over Aadhaar and the usefulness of Aadhaar?
Well, at least from the meeting today, I got the impression that there is far greater unanimity than I had imagined myself, because I think the concerns are shared, and actually the concerns are also shared by the UID. I mean, the same concerns seem to be reflected on both sides about managing the transition, which is the real problem that's coming from Court Qasim or all the other examples that are being cited. The problem is that if people don't have bank accounts, they don't have Aadhaar numbers, obviously you cannot use this architecture to implement your schemes. But once you do, I believe a large number of the NAC members feel that it's a good initiative.